One of the biggest mistakes I see is people applying to grad school when they should not be applying. I see people who don't get into any programs because they are not clear on what they want to do. Or I see people get in and realize the financial cost is too high and they drop out. I almost made this mistake right after finishing undergrad. When I decided not to apply, I felt this huge weight lift off of me. Instead, I spent 5 years exploring. I lived in Brazil, I worked for a nonprofit, I did improv comedy, and I did a lot of volunteer environmental justice activism. After 5 years, I got absolute clarity on my career path, and then I was able to apply to grad school and I got into all the programs I applied to with top scholarship offers. Before you waste hundreds of dollars and hundreds of hours applying to grad school, consider these 3 factors to decide if grad school is right for you right now. The first factor to consider is alignment. How aligned is this grad program with what you want to do, what you care about, and your future career ambitions? Grad school needs to be like the perfect glove that fits your hand. When you read the program curriculum, the requirements, and the professor's bios, is there a feeling inside your body like, yes, this program was made for me? That's a good sign of high alignment. Or does it feel intimidating, daunting, or unexciting, like, ugh, I'm already overwhelmed by reading the description of the program? That means you're probably not that aligned with this particular program, and you might want to consider other options. For me, I know when I first started working on my grad school applications to do a master's in architecture, I felt this sense of dread every time I sat down to work on my applications, which was a clue that maybe I shouldn't be doing this. So I want you to pause and ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about pursuing this grad program and profession? You also want to consider alignment between the grad program and the future profession. Do you need to go to grad school to move forward in that profession? Obviously, if you want to be a doctor, you can't move forward without going to med school. That's very high alignment with the profession. However, with other career tracks, it's not always that obvious. The good news is that there are often multiple paths to success and the career of your dreams. Some engineers, artists, and management consultants go to grad school. Some go to training and certification programs, and some are self-taught. I've had many coworkers working at my same level who never went to grad school. My husband started a successful business and is a published author. He never got an MBA. He never went and studied writing. It's just what he taught himself to do. So there are many options for doing what you want to do. Grad school is one of them, but it doesn't have to be grad school. Your job is to do your background research and discover which pathway is going to be best for you. Consider the possibilities moving forward in your career with or without graduate school. The second factor you want to consider is money. Grad school is a financial investment. When you're estimating the cost, take into account not only the cost of tuition, but living expenses based on the location, extra money you might need for vacations or traveling to weddings, or deferring debt payments. You want to look into the base salaries in your target career field using Glassdoor.com or Payscale.com to see if your future earnings are worth the grad school investment. For example, if you are sure you want to be a teacher, getting a master's in education is an excellent investment because generally the programs are only 1 year, and you can start automatically at a higher base salary in the public school system with the master's. It doesn't even have to be a master's in education. It could be a master's in literature or science or whatever. If you're going into a career field that is not that lucrative, then you want to consider applying to programs that are fully funded. Check out Profellow's database on fully funded programs. And you also want to apply for scholarships at the same time that you are applying to graduate school. Even if your program is fully funded, there are still lost earnings from the time you could be in a full-time job. While in grad school, you are likely not contributing to a 401k or saving for a down payment on a house. Depending on what stage of life you're in, these factors may be relevant or may not matter at all, which takes us to the next factor, timing. Grad school can be a considerable time commitment. You want to make sure it's time well spent. There's a big difference between doing a 2-year professional degree and a 5 to 6 year PhD. Is the time worth it to you? You also want to consider the timing in your life. Is it the right time right now to go to grad school? If you are sure about getting a master's after undergrad, then it might make sense to apply to grad school right away. If you're unsure, it's better to save your money and time by gaining experience in a variety of fields to get a sense of what you like. Experience includes more than just jobs. It also encompasses fellowships, internships, and auditing courses, things like that. If you still have lingering doubts about plunging into grad school applications, then you want to take the car for a test drive before you buy it. Here are a few tips on how to get more certainty. Talk to admissions staff and reach out to professors, students, and alumni. Ask them your questions. Really get a sense of what the program is like and what people do after the program. Try talking to people who work in the field. See if they went to grad school and learn about their path. You can contact people through LinkedIn or mutual connections. Generally, people are really generous in talking to people about their careers. Finally, if this is a field you have no experience in, then test it out. You can try to find a job, an internship, a fellowship, or volunteer. This will help you decide if you want to continue down this path or if you want to pivot into something different. Ultimately, the decision of applying to grad school is up to you. You might be experiencing a lot of pressure from family or society because we think this is like the smart thing to do, but truly you want to make sure grad school is the right fit for you before you invest a lot of time and money in it.